On today's episode of the God Awful Gospel Hour, my friend Jason is our guest.
God awful. God awful. God awful.
And then we do and then we do the music, maybe.
Did the crash? Do you like the crash in the music? You like,
Yeah.
God awful.
God awful.
How did you guys meet when you were little?
Well, I was in a Maximus bathroom bumping coke,
Yeah.
and Donnie and I saw Donnie. I was like, hey, you like to party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's party.
I was taking a shit, and Jason's foot came under the stall and
Wow.
tapped my foot, and I was like, what?
Shaving a haircut?
But he didn't know that's not. He didn't realize that was the universal symbol of, hey, let's have gay sex. He thought it was, hey, let's do coke.
Nitty bomb of gay sex.
He thought it was, hey, let's do coke. And
we
so,
we opened the bathroom doors like Laverne and Shirley, like yeah.
Again?
Again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
now Jason is my friend from high school. He was one of my high school friends,
Mm-hmm.
and we were both in a creative writing class together, and we both decided, I think both of our stories were like, we're just going to make people laugh. We're not going to try and be all dramatic.
This was my second time to take creative writing, not because I failed the first time. I got an A the first time, but I had to fill out my senior year schedule, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to go talk to a new teacher. I don't want to do anything, so I'm just going to take creative writing again. And
Okay.
then
101 and then 101 again?
yeah, why the hell not?
102?
Took it as an elective. Why the
Yeah.
hell not? Right?
I took it twice, too. I took it my senior year as
Yeah.
well.
I didn't know that I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I didn't either till I did it.
I took study hall instead of sex ed because we opted out in my family.
Oh, yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, but then I got a hand job in the library. So,
It all worked out.
yeah, I got some.
You got your sex
You're
ed.
gonna learn somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Jason wrote pretty funny stories, and we probably were talking about South Park a lot, you
Yeah.
know, and movies and music that we were into, and then
We didn't get Comedy Central in Abilene, so
Yeah.
your way of watching South Park was
a friend that lived in Dallas had to record it.
either record it or you had a rich friend with the Prime Star. Remember Prime Star satellite?
Yeah. If they had satellite, you could get Comedy Central. Only the people with satellite could get it in Abilene.
Or you could rent the tapes or DVDs from Hastings.
But that was later. That was not when. That was the first
not
couple
when it
seasons.
first dropped. Yeah.
In like 97, 98, we were having to rely on either people with a satellite dish or
Mm-hmm.
friends that lived in Dallas.
What was the disc between floppy disk and CD? There was one.
The zip disk?
Zip.
Yeah,
Yes, the
Was
South
it-
Park episodes on a zip disc.
right.
Oh yeah, all 100 meg of it. Like you had to watch it on like 6 zip disc for one episode or something.
I was living with a girl when I first moved here, and she was selling shit on Craigslist, and she sold her zip disk drive because she wasn't using it anymore. And this guy came and got it, and he was very dodgy. And then when he left, we were like, why is he so awkward? And I was like, what kind of person would need exterior storage that you can get rid of quickly for their computer files?
Yeah, things that are easily destructible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Like,
Did he
I
have
needed-
horn-rimmed glasses? Was he balding?
He had porn-rimmed glasses.
Yeah.
He had child porn-rimmed glasses.
When you say that, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, there it
He
is.
seemed like he was in a big rush to get in and out and get whatever he had going on at home.
Yeah.
Well,
To
yeah.
the sex basement.
I remember when they announced a zip drive for the Dreamcast. It never came out,
Yeah.
but I was like, why? Why would you need a zip drive for the
So
Dreamcast?
you can play all your pirated games, right?
That's
Faster
true.
than Sonic.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Zips around. So you guys have an old friendship. Every time I put the subject on Jason's videos on Instagram, I put one of the categories is friendship humor.
Yeah.
I only use that for when Jason's here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel so
I don't
special.
know what that makes people search or what kind of aggregate we're
You know what?
stimulating with that.
I'm trying to think of like me and Jason, some of me and Jason's old in jokes, but I
Yeah.
can't remember. I know that you had a SUV, right? We call it the urban assault vehicle.
Yes, like the Limp Bizkit song.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
And then I do remember that one of the first times I ever went over to Jason's house, he had like an imported tape of Dragon Ball Z, and it's the one where Gohan pees on a guy's face or something.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, check
It's on a
this
zip
out.
drive. He had it on a zip drive.
He had it on a zip drive.
On the zip drive,
So
yeah.
get rid of it.
No, I remember like like when I was first getting in, when I was first discovering anime and stuff. Like that was like the first like subtitled anime I had, and it was like I got it from Sam Goody. It was $30, of course, for like 60 minutes of content,
Right.
And now it's like, what is this? I've never seen this before. And so yeah, of course I had to show it to everybody. I was like, that shit they show you on Cartoon Network, it's censored.
Censored. They cut out all the good
They
stuff.
cut out all the good shit. So,
Yeah.
yep.
So speaking of friendship humor, we have some new friends of the show. I've been directly engaging with fans
Yeah.
via our
What?
online
On social
outlets
media.
because there's so few of them. It's easy to do.
Yeah, there's like 3.
Talk to one guy every once in a while. We got Clifton Jr. on TikTok. He said we post good stuff, funny stuff.
Oh,
Lower Vanilla on Reddit went back and forth with me talking about how to do comedy when you have kids. Shouts out Lower Vanilla. And then
have you not tapped into the dad comedy like
no, I don't
spectrum
want
yet?
to. I'm scared of that.
You don't want to?
I already got made fun of for being an alt dad 10 years ago. I'm not trying to be in that world.
Did you say an alt dad?
Alt dad.
So a comedian who is very big now was around in Austin, and Josh was trying to get him to come to his open mic and maybe get him on a showcase
It
that
was
he
Nick
hosted.
Mullen.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't want to go. That guy's just alt dad comedy. What he said. Right, but
then we went and bought tickets to go see him last night as a revenge.
yeah, and then right.
We supported him.
We'll show him.
Then we got Massive Fluorescent Moon on TikTok. Is a guy that has. These are the only people that have commented back and said, "Hey, that thing you said was funny." So I know it's a real person because TikTok's so botted out.
I didn't know. I didn't think we had the budget on here to, purchase bots or or AI shit like that.
Yeah, we
So
need
that's
a
good.
we need a call center in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
We need to
For a
get
vendor.
we need to get a click farm in Bangladesh to start posting
Just
my life, my rules, my attitude.
Oh,
Don't
no.
care.
I love you. I hate you.
And then there's
Don't
a guy
play with me.
called Jericho666 on TikTok, who
Oh,
is
wow.
I bet he's a Chris Jericho fan.
he sounds like he might.
he
Be.
posts a lot of pictures of his feet and legs in long soccer socks, and then sings a song about having depression and wearing compression socks. And he immediately likes everything I put on TikTok, like within minutes of me posting it. So he's a very loyal follower. Thank you for your support, Jericho666. We appreciate you.
Thank you for your service.
Salute.
We don't know if you're gay or straight or bi or trans or what's going on, but whatever you're doing, that's great.
Yeah, thank them for their service.
Do you guys have words that you've used that nobody else used when you were little?
I don't think we had like a language.
No, like the cool words that just phase in and out, like Bill and Ted's and
Like
Wayne's
gnarly and radical and stuff.
well, yeah, but every group of friends has their kind of own ones.
So the one we used to have is that was kind of our thing. If you've ever seen Empire Records, there's a part where Mark eats the quote unquote, I guess, the pot brownies or whatever.
Yes, it's like lots of sugar, but it's obviously
weed.
it's coded as drugs.
This is the middle of summer at noon in Edinburgh, by the way.
Oh God.
Today's walkthrough, 4K
gray and
walkthrough, is
wet and
Edinburgh,
gross.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Have you ever been with anyone from Edinburgh?
Donnie came up with a cool word for it's like the aloha of offensiveness.
What's that?
So if you want to call somebody the worst version of whatever N
They
word
are,
or
yeah.
CH word, you just call them ginks.
Yeah.
And that's blanket offensive for everyone.
Yeah, so whatever you are, that's the worst thing that you could be, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you call, like, a gay person a gink, it means whatever the worst word for gay is. If you call, any race, whatever race the person is, if you call them a gink, that's the worst thing.
Is this like a catch-all so you can't get in trouble with anyone? for
Or
your-
if somebody
Until-
says, what does gink mean? You can go, imagine something horrible
Yeah, right.
that I can't say right now.
Is it like
That's
when
what
like
I
the
mean.
is it like when the theater kids in high school go flarg?
Yes.
Yeah, but
exactly.
it's cooler
Lightning
than
bolt,
that
lightning
because
bolt.
we're not theater people.
That's true.
No, so our thing was it the Hey Mark, you love Guar?
Yeah, Mark. Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
you love Guar. Why don't you join the band?
Yeah, and then I took that, and I think it was when we went and saw the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
The worst part of the movie is And now Macy Gray. You know, they put freaking Macy Gray in the Spider, which is the lamest thing in the world to do.
Yeah.
So I lean over to Jason and I go, and now Guar. It's like, how much
Died.
more awesome would it have been if Guar was the band that was playing at the little get-together thing that they had when Green Goblin attacks? You know?
Died laughing in the
Yeah.
middle of it, and then the girl I was seeing at the time was with me too, and I was just like, just hilarious.
We quoted Spider-Man whenever we were getting ready to go somewhere, and that we're going around asking everybody, "Are you ready to go? Is everybody ready?" And I'd be up in my room and I'd go, "Bonesaw is ready."
Bonesaw's ready. Yeah.
I still like I'll still watch the Spider-Man trilogy. It's great.
Which
Spider-Man
one? This is
2?
9 trilogies now.
Spider-Man 2's
Which
up
one
there
of the
with
27
some of the best
different
ones,
movies
yeah.
are you referring to?
Yeah.
What was it? The first series, and then we're doing
Yeah.
comics series
Yeah,
1 or
Toby.
like first run.
Yeah, whatever universe or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, that the little group of friends that we had in high school, we used the word bust for everything.
Yeah.
Bust action.
Yeah, and so it was like we did the bust action. So bust action became like a word that we used, and we had a forum that we all posted in. We called it BustNet. We created our own
Nice.
message board forum.
I put a newsletter together for it.
Yeah, what's it?
little bit.
What was the name of that newsletter?
Bust Action News.
Was it
Nice.
Bust Action News? I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Yeah, we put out 3 of
You need a
them.
theme
Yeah, we
song
put out
for
3
that.
of them. Like I did a couple episodes, and then I was like, Jason, you want to help? And Jason absolutely blew me away because he knew like magazine layouts. Because Jason also put together a local sports magazine in Abilene, Texas. So.
In the before time, I did I worked
you
on a
go to school
sports
for that?
magazine. What's that?
Did you go to school for that?
I got a degree.
Was that back when we were using Quark Express or PageMaker?
That was the prime of Quark Express, probably 5 when I
But
graduated.
then in high school, you probably had to do.
We had a page maker.
You didn't do manual layout, anything on a drafting table, light table?
No.
Oh, that's
We
how
would
much
do
older I am than
like
you.
kind of like I don't know what they call.
Technical drawing.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called now. It was like a storyboard or something like that, and so we'd do that and like lay it out. And
Paste up.
and my advisor would be like, "This looks good," and
Yeah.
so we'd move forward, right? But yeah, I did that, and then I worked on I did freelance for like when our local newspaper tried to put out their version of like the Austin Chronicle, which was like it was called Texas Planet. Very edgy, right? I remember the one thing I do remember is like one of the writers for that got an interview with a band that came through Dallas. They were very up and coming. They were playing like House of Blues or something like that. And they predicted big things for them, and that band was the Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
That's
it was really,
awesome.
and, that's kind of where I first heard of them back in like I think 2002. Like
Yeah.
they burned up the next year, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I first heard of them, and they were kind of just. It was refreshing. A lot of the New York bands at the time I remember weren't very well. I guess the Strokes were kind of very. I guess they were fashionable, if you want to call it that, right?
Yeah.
But Karen O and Nick and stuff like that, they seemed very down to earth
Did you
for
watch
what they
Meet Me in
did.
the Bathroom?
Huh? Is it out?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I think it's on Apple or
I
something.
have the book. I haven't watched it yet, but
Oh, well, you don't need to watch it. You already read the book.
well, I read like a few chapters of it. I haven't finished.
You
know
listened
how
to the
I.
auto book.
You know how I. Yeah. You know how books do. It just makes
read
me
nothing.
sleepy. So
Words. He needs pictures. He needs comic book panels.
I need. Well, now it's not really comic. I don't really read comics anymore. Now it's like manga panels. I gotta read things right to left now.
Jason, you are weeaboo. We need to have a drop of Chiaki going. You are weeaboo.
Yeah.
I know.
but,
I get it. I'm fine with it.
We told her that Japanese girls are fetishized, and she was like, "That's weird." And I was like,
I-
"I'm sorry, but I didn't do it."
Yeah, it's like what was it? I did like was it like it's like fetishizing like soldiers from back like English soldiers or like English knights or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was funny. So, but yeah, we had a little forum together, and
Like Jason. Jason, he's always been a creative guy.
Yeah.
I mean, like we met in a creative writing class. But
I got called charismatic the other day.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's good.
I don't know if
That's a compliment.
I never thought I was like, am I? Like I had to ask my wife. I was like, am I charismatic? She's, you're not into charismatic. Like,
Trump
raise
is
your hands up.
charismatic. You could
Yeah, right.
convincing
I
people
know.
to do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now Jason, he's always he's had a talent for print.
Yeah.
I'd say, and he's had a talent for criticism.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of my first friends who recommended me a lot of music. He got me into a lot of music that I wouldn't have been in otherwise. Is that bug that's been
You have
flying
a ladybug
around?
on you.
It keeps jumping on me or something.
We're having incidents every podcast. The last one there was meat.
It's
and
like the
Donnie's
universe is trying to disrupt the recording.
I thought you were lactating.
Yeah, he's like,
It's so fucking hot.
Josh just reached over and grabbed my nipple.
Drink. Yeah, there was a
Aw.
ladybug on your
Yeah,
nipple.
But you know what?
He did
It
a
was-
church move on me.
It wasn't like a consent thing. It was a, you know what? You got something. It was very sweet. It wasn't. it was nothing I'd call the cops over. It
Yeah,
was very nice.
He was
So-
just grooming me.
No, Jesus
Hey,
Christ.
okay, groomer.
But now, the reason, and I appreciate that. I feel very. I groomed you for music.
My first music groomer.
no.
You guys are the Ian movie with the Nazi. He was
Oh,
grooming
the
board
apt
game
pupil. I'm
movie.
his
Yeah,
apt
you
pupil.
apt pupil.
Oh no.
Come here, boy.
Oh no.
Let me
there's-
teach you some Nazi things.
We have a lost episode with Jason where we were just playing random songs and he is like encyclopedia man. So
Yeah. you
Jason
can
was
play-
a good friend to have when
What
I
was
was
that? It was
growing
a
up
game
and learning
show.
things.
Guess that tune. Name that tune.
Name that tune.
Yeah,
See,
you-
I don't think I could do name that tune though, because a lot of you, I could.
I've watched you do it.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, but with the
Drunk,
with,
sober, high, in the middle of the night, twice.
with the lights on me though, like on a sound stage,
Yeah.
because it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be because then I'll think I'm doing good, and then I'll get cocky, and I'll be the guy that goes, I can name it in one note. Okay, here you go. Brah. I
And
don't
then
know
you
what the
just
fuck
shit the
that
bed,
is.
yeah.
Shit the bed.
So we need Tom Cruise to make me an invisible earpiece, and you can talk into it, and I can go on the show. So my neighbor was having back spasms the other day.
Mhm.
Adrian, we all
Yeah,
know and love Adrian. He's on
guest of the show.
Yeah. So I had to run over and check on him. I thought I was gonna have to throw him in the Xterra and take him to the hospital,
That bad.
but
Huh?
then I had to come back and work, and my wife had to go check on him. And she started calling around trying to see if anybody had any muscle relaxers or anything to get it to stop.
No shit.
Because I went over there and put magnesium lotion on his back and ran the Theragun, and then she came over and there it smelled like icy hot. She put icy hot on him and then tried to get the Theragun set up like a OnlyFans girl dildo, like on the wall.
Are you sure
So
his
he
back
just-
hurt?
Yeah. No,
Did he
she-
just need a little?
no,
you, know,
you could
little
see like the
massage?
things moving around in there. It's
Nope.
freaky.
Okay.
But anyway, I was upstairs working, and my son walked into the room with a bottle of medication pills, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! You want to party or what?" And then he was like, "Well, Sonia brought these over," and then I looked at the bottle and it said Norberto, and it was codeine, and I was like,
Oh no.
"Does Norberto want to party? What the
Yeah.
hell's going on right now?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized it was probably supposed to be for Adrian, so I ran him over there, and then we found like a bunch of old tramadols too, so he should be okay until he can
Yeah.
get
See that?
things
See that shit
figured
never
out.
worked on me. I had to go ibuprofen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like hardcore, like prescription strength ibuprofen. Right?
Yeah, I take that now for my
Yeah.
knees, you know, my back, you know. But yeah, I remember when I pulled my back at work, and they had to bring an ambulance to me.
Yeah.
This happened in like 2009.
Yeah.
This was around this time I was like, am I gonna move to the Austin area? Are we really gonna do this? Well,
Were
I pulled.
you spazzing? Was your back spazzing out?
I was walking and I
Don't be a
got up and all of
spaz.
a sudden it like jerked and then I was bending over. I couldn't stand up fully. What pissed me off, because I was working in the design department at our newspaper doing graphic design, like ads and stuff.
Yeah.
Like as I'm staring down, like bent over, I'm looking down, and the dude, one of the advertising reps, slid an ad under me while I was bent over, literally sliding like an envelope, and he was like, "Can you make edits to this?" I'm in traction, motherfucker. You know, so
So you're a seasoned graphic designer. What do you think of our logo?
I was.
Did you see our logos?
Yeah, I like your logo.
Okay, thank
It's
you.
good. Yeah.
I'm going to show you my portfolio later.
Okay. Go for it.
So rape jokes are never okay. That's one of the 3 R words.
Yeah.
Unless you're a skunk.
What a
segue,
transfer.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a hell of a segue.
Unless you're a skunk in a cartoon trying to fuck a cat, then
Yeah.
then rape is hilarious.
Yeah.
Do
Well,
they show
yeah.
Pepe Le Pew cartoons anymore? I feel like they don't.
Yeah, I think they're too problematic. Yeah.
Does your guys' Reddit feed getting all fucked up, or do y'all quit using Reddit now?
I don't use it on my phone at all because of the whole situation. I try to avoid using it as much as possible on my PC when I'm at work, but I don't have a good shit posting source that isn't Reddit,
Yeah.
so I need memes, I need spice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I mean,
that spice.
4chan's a little too rough for me, so I don't go there. Right.
nobody should go there.
No, you know what I mean. Though.
Yeah.
I see they do the best stuff. I see you post
Yeah.
the best stuff.
Yeah, I'll pull funny stuff off of Reddit.
Yeah.
that it gets linked from the good stuff.
It's like
yeah.
I don't go to TikTok, but I'll watch Instagram for TikTok stuff.
Yeah,
you know
I'll
what I
look up TikToks on YouTube. God,
Exactly.
we're so old.
mean? I know, right?
Like, oh god, I've gotten so old.
Yep.
Ugh.
So I had Bacon Reader, so that was how I did my Reddit. You know,
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, I had
like
Reddit
cruising.
Sync, I think. Yeah.
So that's gone. And
Yeah.
now I put the regular Reddit on there, and it's a mix of it's like Twitter now. Like every 4 articles, something like that, it's
it's an ad, right?
it's an ad, or it's because you looked at our TV too high.
Yeah.
Which is like
Yeah,
my new
right.
favorite subreddit. It's
Right.
like people post their TVs on the ceiling and shit, right?
Right.
That's okay. Some of it though, it's just like, ugh, I want to see this.
So I
There's
think
a reason
our
why I curated
aggregate
this.
is getting algorithm from the entire household of 4 people of who says what into their phone.
I can't imagine what that algorithm looks
I'm
like.
constantly having to tweak my feed on Reddit and say show less from this community because it's like, am I pretty? Roast me. Did y'all get those on yours?
No, because I pruned my shit.
Yeah,
And I do
also
too.
you'll always be printing it.
Also, well, I mean, the apps, I don't know. Like, the apps for me, I use Reddit Sync, and also I use Reddit Enhancement Suite, which is a plugin for the web version of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I only see the stuff I really want to see and the stuff I'm subscribed to, and I don't let all that. Do you have an account? Do you sign in with an account and all
Yeah.
that? I don't know what's going on with your
Yeah,
feed
I do
then.
too.
I've got Karma.
Yeah.
I think it just still listens to you, and so I got rid of all those roast me ones,
Mhm.
and then I was public freakout for a while, which they get you because it's like Fox News kind of
Reactionary
clickbaity,
bullshit.
Yeah. So I'll see
It's
something
so
going,
easy to get
"Holy
sucked into
fuck,
that."
Look at that
Mhm.
dude falling off a cliff. That's awesome, and then you get more, and then it's just depressing.
Uh-huh.
So I pruned it all, and I put r/wholesome and r/made me smile, and to try to tell Reddit to stop feeding my brain bad things.
Yeah.
I did look up what was it? Was it like R? Because I'm trying to figure out kind of how to get my office a little bit more tidier or
Yeah.
more tidier, more tidy, right? And so it's like
Tidiest.
because you looked at our anime figures, because you looked at which I have a few of those. That's fine, I don't care.
My
But
feed is a lot of action figures.
yeah,
too.
because you looked at our retro collecting, stuff like that. And some of it's okay. It's
I
fine.
keep up on all the hot toys and sideshow collectibles that come out.
Yeah, I mean the shit I can't afford. Yeah.
I mean, there's a Chewbacca that's $200, but you have to comb it with a little toothbrush because it's all just hair. Like you have to take care of it like a Shih Tzu.
What's
I think that we might.
Is it
we
one
might
one?
all have to chip in and get you that for Christmas or
I
something.
think
That'd be
so.
cool.
I think we're gonna have to.
So I know somebody who owes me a bunch of decent gifts after giving me a bunch of shitty ones
Yeah.
in a row every time I see them.
A bunch of double XL jackets. All right, we're gonna take a break and we'll be right back. All right, we're back and we're doing Scottish accents.
Sucking me off to my penis hole. Dun, dun, dun.
Ba-dun-da-da.
So there was a Round Rock pastor that was charged with an enhanced charge of possession of child porn.
Yeah,
How do you get enhanced?
I don't know.
So like the enhanced expanded edition of GTA 5?
yeah,
It's in 4K. He had 4K child porn. So
Maybe,
he's enhanced.
maybe it was in his car. That might be
Maybe
an
it was
intent.
on a zip drive.
yeah.
He's trying to destroy it.
Oh fuck off! Are you?
He gave chase.
I hope you're. I hope that's. I hope you're tying
Still
that
number
in
one
earlier.
amongst pedophiles. What if who was it who made the zip drives? I can't remember the company.
George Zip.
It was iOmega, right?
Oh, yeah,
One of
yeah,
those.
Omega.
What if they're still around and they're like, for some reason, we're still selling zip drives and we're still selling zip disks. Man, we must just have a really dedicated customer base, like a small
AOL.
people, and
AOL
it's
still has old people subscribing because they don't want to change it.
like MSN.
and it's
I know
all the
people like that.
pedophiles they're all still using because it's like the hardest thing to trace.
And all the
or whatever.
children from all the child
Yeah.
porn on the zip disks are now 30, and they're like, I don't really care anymore. So there's 2 people that got canceled that came back stronger. They pulled a Obi-Wan. If you strike me down, I'll become
more powerful than you
you
possibly
can be. Louis
imagine.
C.K. and Shane Gillis both seem to be doing a little bit better than they were.
Well, no, Louis C.K.'s not. Louis C.K. was the
Yeah, I mean,
freaking
he had
top
shit.
of
Louis
Louis
freaking
C.K. had like
entertainment.
movies and shit.
Yeah,
now.
he was
can go shit
he was
now.
way bigger. Now he's just a stand-up comedian that goes on podcasts.
He has a movie. He has a movie with
Well,
Joe List.
yeah, he did
We
that
still
July
haven't done
4th,
that.
4th of July
We
movie.
need to do that.
But he's nowhere near as he's not going to be, and I don't think he wants to be. I think that was too big for him.
But
what
you
he
know who
was.
also got struck down and came back more powerful than you could possibly imagine? Actually, Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor.
Yeah,
He got in trouble for cheating on his wife.
Uh-huh.
and then nobody gave a fuck, and he married the girl he cheated with, and then he got to be Obi-Wan again on Disney Plus, and then he got her a role on Ahsoka.
Wow.
No
So
shit, really?
Mary Elizabeth Winstead is the girl with the tentacles
Oh, right.
from Rebels.
That's who he cheated
Yeah,
with?
because they were in
Wow.
Fargo season 3 together.
Wow.
So I guess they fell in love on that movie set. On
She
that show
tried to
set.
strike him down, and he became more powerful.
Isn't
Yeah.
the rumor
Can you
that
imagine?
Rob cheated on Caitlyn from It's Always Sunny?
The rumor
That's the rumor. He did it.
recently.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that whenever they first started It's Always Sunny, there was a different actress playing Dee, and he was engaged to her, and he broke up with her, fired her, hired Caitlyn, started dating her, and made her Dee.
It's
Well,
toxic work environment.
It showed up in my feed for some reason. I don't know why. I don't. The Perez Hilton stuff is no
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah. Well, so that's
was
the
Paris Hilton, and it's TMZ, and now it's the NME.
yeah.
It's the new TMZ.
Yeah.
If you go to NME.com, it's so gay.
Yeah, it used to be like Brit Rock
The
and
Brit
stuff,
Rock
and now
site?
it's
yeah.
now it's clickbait.
yeah. It's apparently they're the beacon of K-pop
They're
now. From what
strangling
I've
for
seen, right?
relevance.
Yeah, that's what I noticed that. Like a lot of it was like this. This is going to be they kind of talk about K-pop artists like they've known about them for years, and I was
Yeah.
like, you were just talking about 1975 like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, right.
So,
Well, the It's Always Sunny people, guys, they have a podcast. It's really good where
Yeah,
they
it's
go over
great.
each episode one by one. But
Mhm.
good God, Rob is annoying. Like he's definitely gotten a little woke,
he's very
and-
full of himself right now.
and
Rob
he's
McElhaney? What's
yeah,
his
Rob McElhaney, and he is just, and he'll say like some of the dumbest stuff, and the other Charlie and Glenn will have to kind of like change the subject or
They're
like
gonna
try
have
and
to turn him into
redirect
a
him
foil.
because women should be really happy whenever guys say they're like not feminists or
Yeah.
whenever guys like criticize feminism
Yeah.
because that means that those guys aren't rapists.
Yeah.
It's like the guys
Try
who
to
are
white
the
knight their way into
yeah,
your panties.
yeah, the guys who are the hardest core feminists
Yeah.
are the I'm a male feminist. Those are the ones
So-
who have something that they're
Dulce Mac just
They're
posted
trying to
something
make
like
up
that
for it,
on
yeah.
Threads.
the one
Said all
thing,
the guys that open the door are like the most creepy.
yeah, the guys who are the most creepy.
well, so the one thing that I hate more than anything is
Being
When-
retarded and being a gay sex slave.
yeah,
That you know, and you're trapped inside the body.
oh yeah, that's one of them, right?
that's up there.
That's in the
You
spectrum
have to
for
come up with a
sure.
word for that.
The
The gink treatment.
What Jesus Christ! I like the continuity. I appreciate it. That's why I like being here. No, I feel like when people say I'm your ally,
So whenever the comedians, so we went
I
to
hate that.
Yeah.
Michelle.
we went to PZ Pat Soroy's, who was a guest on the show. We went to his
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night
Pint
showcase last Saturday.
Saturday Pint
And the
Live.
headliner was this really funny African American lady, and she
Mm-hmm.
basically went off on that. And she's like, "I feel like the people who are referring to themselves as allies are like rich white people sitting in Starbucks drinking their coffee, talking about how great of allies they are."
She
Right?
pointed
or
at me
like
and
you
said, "Are
said,
you
those are
an
the ones you
ally?"
need to, or as you said,
The ones
there's
you need to worry about.
about.
Yeah, they're
Exactly.
trying to compensate for something.
And
right?
I think it's possible to. I mean, if you really want to be an ally, then I don't know. My thing is like maybe don't inject yourself into
Everything.
everything. Like
all
not
allies.
don't make a cause out of everything.
It feels to me that the best allies are the ones who don't refer to themselves as an ally. you know?
Exactly. And I had to tell my brother that. Like,
Yeah.
my brother was like, I just want, because it was like around the George Floyd stuff, you know, and he was like, I just want to let someone know, that, I just want to know that's bullshit that men do this and that I'm your ally. And I was like, bro, I was like, I said, I think your heart's in the right place. I get it, but don't
your
tell people,
dick.
don't tell people you're an ally, because if you do, the next thing they're gonna look for is the knife you're about to put in their back.
right.
And then he got mad. He was like, "Well, I'm not gonna go rape someone." I'm just like, "Dude, I'm not saying you're
I'm
gonna
not
rape
pimping
him.
that penis."
I'm just exactly. I'm just telling, dude, don't. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, if you want to build up trust, then you need to do it with like actions versus.
No, we're all allies. The sun burns
So I
everyone.
would- the
Everybody
sun
needs
burns
to eat
everyone,
out
right?
here. We're all trying to eat.
I've got a better word than
Economy's
ally, and it's friend.
Yeah.
I am a friend to all kinds of people, and to me, being a friend to somebody means supporting them and doing nice things to them and not trying to hurt them and not trying to make them feel bad. Let's just call ourselves friends.
Yeah, why do we got to go back to the
Yeah.
good guys from World War II?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
Axis.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
Japanese
allied to
against
England.
everybody.
I am in England. I am an ally to the cause of freedom.
So did y'all see the Deadpool 3 screenshots of Wolverine?
Yeah.
I did.
So they're gonna use a bunch of other shit from the X-Men 2000 movie. Jean Grey's coming back. Famke.
Really?
Famke Johnson.
The best Jean Grey.
I mean, they kind of hinted at it in the Doctor Strange universe movie because they showed Patrick Stewart and the music went.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I haven't seen
yes,
that.
bring it back.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that yet.
Make it right.
You still haven't seen Doctor Strange?
I haven't seen Doctor
Man,
Strange.
Jason's
watch it?
committed.
Well, not on purpose. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's just well,
it's
even
so-
I've seen the Doctor Strange. So grow.
Put
So
your mouth on the sludge pipe and sucked it.
Did you clean it with your tongue
I
too?
thought you didn't like that. That used to be just called screen time problems.
yeah, right.
Like you and Claire have this philosophy of we're being force-fed stuff like a foie gras duck, but you can just cut down on your screen time, and then
Yeah.
nobody's force-feeding you
Yeah.
anything.
And then we have to hear about it from Josh. No,
I gotta watch episode 9. It's fucking awesome. Luke Skywalker drank green titty milk.
no. So Jason was also my comic guy.
Yeah.
So
Your
you're-
dealer.
Yeah,
Best
you're.
comic guy ever.
Yeah, you were my comic book guy. You just weren't as annoying as and as negative as that guy was, right?
So what do you think about Robert Kirkman owning the license on all G.I. Joe and Transformers comics now?
Ooh, I saw that.
Because their movies are coming together too. That was the end of Rise of the Beast. There was a G.I. Joe Easter egg.
Was there really?
Was there really?
Oh, wow.
Wow. No, I didn't know. See,
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
I knew he was doing.
You
I
had
knew,
2 weeks.
I knew. No, it's all right. I knew he was doing Transformers. I saw that. I didn't know like Hasbro gave Skybound like the whole spiel.
RC
Right.
is a boy now because it's Transformers.
I see what you did there, you motherfucker. That's funny.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I got back in. So comics were funny for me because like my first comic I think was shit. Which one was it? I think it was my granddaddy bought me a copy of Batman 300 Detective Comics 365 from the
Ooh.
comic store. The house that Joker built. It had like a
Nice.
big old like brick house that looked like Joker, on it. It was like right near, it was in between the time of like, when the comics were like Superman and Batpig, like it's like,
I got all
like
the Image #1s. I got Shadowhawk #1, Spawn #1.
you had
I
a
was already-
back-breaking good time then, didn't you?
I felt like I was behind on everything else. And
Did you?
Other comic friends were trying
He
to get me
found
caught
it.
up.
He found it.
Yeah, I found a
Nice.
picture of it on
Yes.
my phone.
Nice.
Yeah, it was beat up. It was like $10, right? But it was right when
Put it on
it
the
wa-
YouTubes.
it was during Keaton Mania when Keaton became Batman. That's
Oh,
how I
wow,
got
yeah.
into comics.
89.
And, yeah, 89. So from
Oh, I
there,
got into it right when I could drive because then I could go to the comic book stores.
I got in. Oh, that's awesome.
And the Eastern Seaboard, the Beltway,
Uh-huh.
the Tri-County area of D.C., there was a lot of comic stores.
I bet.
But there was no MapQuest or anything back then. You just had to use the phone book.
Or you
Fine.
knew a guy
Yeah.
and you went with him. Yeah. I was keeping up with comics till about 93. And then I discovered Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
That's not trying to be, I used
You
to read
got-
comics,
you-
then I started fucking chicks. You know what I mean?
I have
Nothing
some
like that.
modern recommendations for you. Did you read Saga yet at all?
I have read Saga.
Did you read Low?
Which one?
Low?
I started Low. I didn't finish it. It was
So
good.
Yeah.
The ones I'm reading I'm not really reading any comic right. I think if I'm reading anything, it's been. I always keep up. This sounds so stupid. I always keep up with Amazing Spider-Man because I got to see if they're gonna. Amazing Spider-Man is like highs or lows. And what are you
Where's
doing?
those ones I let you borrow?
Oh, they're upstairs. The Last God is upstairs.
You
Oh,
gotta
Last
see
God?
Last God. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be a movie someday.
Yeah.
In the Image Cinematic Universe. They need to do that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Shadowhawk.
What was it?
Origins.
I can't keep up with Amazing Spider-Man because it's always on an up and down. Like it's
Yeah.
either really good or really shitty.
Yeah.
I do keep up with Miles Morales, just because it's so.
Just because you're an ally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I support you. No,
Spider-Man's Miles Mulata.
Miles
Yeah.
Morales. Which, by the way, Across the Spider-Verse Part 1,
I haven't-
fucking great.
I haven't watched it.
That's so
still.
good.
I need to go to the movie theater for that.
But like,
No, Jason was my guy he'd be like, "Oh my god, what's just happened in the new X-Men?" And you would tell me what the arc was. I remember the house. I think you told me you recited House of M to me. You recited the one where there was that one mutant who had a star for a head, and then it turned out he was actually Magneto.
yeah, New
Uh,
X-Men.
That was a cool one.
Literally, the comic was called New X-Men. Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
that
Jason's my Wikipedia for comics.
Hyper something? What's he called? Impact? The guy with the star on his head?
Zorn. That was him.
Zorn.
yeah.
There's a town called Zorn right down the road
Yeah,
from here.
yeah.
What?
My first ones I remember really getting into was the X-Men one relaunch, the '92 X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear all the shit about them fetishizing Spider-Gwen? people like are into her action figures and
Yeah,
stuff.
but she's 15. Yeah.
But okay, yes, but. And I'm not trying to be
She's
a
actually a
pedo ally
4,000
here.
year.
She's
She's actually a
not,
4,000 year
also
old
not
vampire.
even a real person
Right.
at all ever. So
She's a cartoon.
that's like when people used to make fun of the X-Men. I was like, Wolverine can hear you right now, okay?
Yeah.
So don't talk shit. You're gonna
Yeah.
die.
Don't you talk
She
shit
will
about
be
me.
over here in a moment.
But so the Hugh Jackman Wolverine costume is the that's the classic Wolverine
He's
costume
got
that
sleeves
he's
now
in.
because
Yeah.
he didn't want to get skin cancer on his arms.
Yeah.
Like his doesn't have enough arm hair to cover that. Already.
Yeah, right. He's
They
got a
could've-
healing factor.
They
Come
could
on.
have fixed that in post.
Yeah, I know. I
But
know.
what I get you into? I think I used to like rave about Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read some of Ultimate Spider-Man and I heard about it from you. But like some of the newer stuff, I really liked Ex Machina.
Mm-hmm.
Ex
That one was
Machina
great.
really good.
Why the Last Man's great.
Why the Last Man? I've got the whole
Battle
thing right
Chasers
there.
11 is coming out Wednesday.
Which one?
Battle Chasers 11.
Oh, it took 20 years.
Yeah.
Shit.
You ready?
I like Saga. Saga was good. Or I
Saga's
watched
good.
the first I read the first
Mhm.
book of it,
Yeah.
the first part of it.
Did you watch Why the Last Man the series when it was
No,
available?
again, Donnie's Law.
I
Donnie's
know.
Law, dude.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It was okay.
It's cute. You can see what they were trying to do.
the
They
first
didn't really
episode was
know.
good, but after that, it just went. You know.
It was. They did what I wanted in the first episode. It
Yeah,
was all
exactly.
women, and they couldn't figure out how to make the fucking pumps work, and they ran out of water, and they everybody died. And I was like, oh, exactly. This show's over for me. They don't have to tell me anything else. Quick, woman, invent something. Build a house. Oh, I guess we'll die.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just all die.
Did it really do that?
Yeah. They were
I
in New York, and it was going to flood the
Well, the
subway
fir-
system.
well-
or- 'cause
Oh
with the
yeah. Well, at the first
plumbing.
episode, everyone died, and then credits rolled, right? And
there
then
was
after,
a scene with the president, and they're in New York City, and she was like, if somebody doesn't figure out how to recalibrate the pumps in the plumbing, then the whole subway system is going to flood, and we're all going to get electrocuted. And then the other woman was like, so that's what happens then, I guess. They're going to be in big trouble.
we're
'cause
fucked.
we don't have anyone. All the dudes that did that are gone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's lots of sewer maintenance would not be happening.
They tried to explain it to us, but we accused them of mansplaining, and no one listened, so nobody learned anything. They just got mad.
Jesus Christ.
So there's a chainsaw guy over here on Westgate
Uh-huh.
in the Greenbelt area. That's
Is he swinging a chainsaw?
He's a
or-
chainsaw and a sledgehammer, and he's smashing rocks
Uh-huh.
to warn one of the homeowners that he knows that he's a Satan worshiper
All right.
or something. And he's yelling at people, and all the neighbors are mad. He's been arrested 6 times, but he keeps getting cleared by the
Excellent.
DA.
Excellent.
So they won't do anything because it's a mental health, and we don't have the facilities.
Plus, we don't really have a lot of police right now.
They're like, he's already homeless. He's already being punished. What more do you want to do?
What
to
more
him?
do you want to do? Yeah, someone tried to fight my car with a sleeping bag a couple weeks ago when I was downtown.
Try to fight your car?
With the sleeping bag,
They
they were
tried to beat up
slinging.
your-
They went like slinging a sleeping bag.
like
over
David and Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
Was there not a brick in a sleeping bag? or
No, it
anything?
was just. It looked like just a sleeping
They
bag.
didn't try
like-
to a few good men your car with a sleeping bag.
no, he did not. Try
gave the order.
Goddamn right, I did. Yeah. What else did that get you into?
I don't know if it was you, but man, I really liked at least I like the story too, but the art in Monstrous. Monstrous is amazing.
I went to a couple comic books in Paris, and their comics are so much better over there.
Dude, their comics are like hardcovers, man.
Yeah, the French
They're
comics
nice.
are like
They don't fuck around.
Moebius. They're
Yeah.
very highly detailed, Jeff Darrow type stuff.
Jodorowsky.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
So Bank of America's been fined $150 million for bogus fees and fake accounts, to which I'm sure they said,
I didn't get
okay,
any- I didn't-
$150 million.
Yeah, it's nothing.
I think we're going to be all right. They need to find these banks like serious Jew money to put them out of business.
Had to go for their gold.
Yeah. Oh no, $150 million. Okay, I guess we'll. Where do we sign
Oh, I guess we'll just go out of business
so we can stay in business? That
Yeah.
place was a nightclub when I was there. Did they make it back into a historical church?
I don't know.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with the Jewish impressions just happened.
Oh no, I'm an
Oh,
eighth
Josh
Jewish.
is
I'm allowed.
Jewish.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. That's
Yeah,
right.
so
Okay.
I'll show you my
He's
penis.
descended to a Jew through
You
his
don't have
mother.
to show me your penis. I
You
believe.
I
I'll take
told
your
you I
word.
was Jewish earlier, and you still don't believe me.
I'll take your word for it.
So obviously you need some kind of proof. So
Yeah.
video game journalists think they're developers now.
Yeah.
You watch them pick on games, and they're like, "That's just bad level design." And
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, do you work at Midway? How are you so smart about this?" They just know some words, so they're like, "Yeah, the Boolean shading is no good on this." Everybody thinks they're digital.
The
Foundry.
bokeh.
Yeah, take that, Digital Foundry.
Digital Foundry hasn't even ever made a game, have they?
No, I don't
At
think
least
so.
Donkey has a game.
Well, I think
Yeah.
you said I think two of them that worked on are helping develop a game, so maybe they did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can
Is
talk
it going to
shit
be
if
one
you-
of those Roger Ebert Beyond the Valley of the Dolls situations where
I don't think so. I don't think the games they're working on are going to be Digital
You
Foundry
were never
anytime.
a
One of them's like
software
a
pioneer with me back in the pits.
one of them's like a CDI, like Zelda ripoff. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
nice.
It ain't gonna be. It's not gonna be on Digital Foundry anytime soon.
Speaking of good level design, you guys aren't on the leaderboards with me yet for Final Fantasy Arcade mode.
I have to beat the game.
Yeah, I hired a 10-year-old to beat the game for me, so I got to start on New Game Plus.
His payment was the game.
Yeah. He got paid and not getting beat up.
Aw.
Every time I try to Google search for stuff on Final Fantasy 16, it autocorrects.
Do you get 14?
Yeah, it autocorrects.
I
to
do
14.
too.
Oh, at least you're cheating online too.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one.
No, I just want to see how many chapters were left and stuff, right? Like how much farther? Not out of like, oh, how much farther do I have to go in this? But
No,
like,
I want a map image of where those fucking hunts are. I'm not
yeah, I want
looking
to know
all over
where.
the place.
Yeah, exactly. And they're very cryptic. It's like, the darkness arises. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Like,
They
something.
have a description on the hunts where they're like, he's in Rosaria. Well, that's a continent.
That's,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna traverse the continent for
That's,
this guy.
that's 8 different
It's in
sections of
southern
the map.
Rosaria. Okay, well that's a quarter of the map.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just me, but I don't mind like looking online for a map for something. Like I like doing that for. It's gonna sound silly. I like doing it for Metroid because it just. I feel like it's like a treasure map kind of situation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like, ooh, the treasure's here. Let's see if we can get to it. And it's not like about 60% of the time in Metroid you try to go to it and you can't. You're blocked, right? So
Yeah.
that's the fun for me. Try to figure out how to get to it.
Metroid was the original trans joke. It's a girl
Yeah.
in the spacesuit. Only men can wear
No, they
spacesuits.
subverted expectations. That was the original.
The Smack My Bitch Up video.
Yeah, it's a smack my bitch up in the video.
A Nintendo game.
It was
Yeah,
a
but it didn't-
bitch the whole time. She was hard as fuck.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
are you guys down for Baldur's Gate? Are we all buying Baldur's Gate? Some of us have to plan around these $80 purchases if we're all going to play it.
I know.
Because when
but
it launches, it's the hot time. We got to play it when it's hot.
is it gonna Game Pass?
I don't think you need to.
No.
You can play single. It's a single player game, right? Or,
Yeah, but I want to all play together.
Well, then
We
can
all
play.
game and none of us play anything together.
Yeah.
Maybe we should fix that.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get y'all on the Final Fantasy leaderboards.
I know. But I'm like, let's fix that, and I'm like, stop pushing me
It's a
because you keep
scheduling
pushing me.
thing.
I'm not gonna do
We
it.
live in a world of streaming and on demand, so it's hard to schedule something and be a place at a time.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to.
It is.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean-
that's why we don't have a Twitch, because it's like you have to do it every day.
Well, I know we had tried to we tried to do streaming, and it was like, or it was shit like Donnie would stream, and then I wasn't available, or I was available. Donnie was at a show or something like that. It's
Yeah.
just,
We were supposed to have the other item here, but we were trying to do a Friday night thing for a while, but it ended up trailed off like all things do, like how this segment is going to do, because we're going to take a break now. And we are back for segment 3.
And we're black.
So
back.
I came up with names for us, Josh.
yeah? Okay.
How about Brother Don and Josh the Baptist?
Oh, that's good.
I like that.
I like that. You got to be Friar Jason. He's jolly. He's a jolly guy.
Lord.
You could be like what's his name from Robin Hood and be obsessed with beer. From Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. You know the first episode that we did, I dropped in the Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves soundtrack, the main theme from it, and it made it sound like the nightly news.
That sounds cool. It's cool on iTunes.
Like
but
the-
I had
like
to take
the-
it off of YouTube.
like the Brian Adams song.
Yeah.
No, the dun 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 dun
Just
dun.
I was
Dun,
I
dun,
say
dun,
that's a
dun.
bold music choice, dude.
Everything I
Look
do.
into my head. What does Vorpal mean? You're a
Vorpal.
D&D guy, isn't it? A D&D thing?
Yeah, that's like a race or something,
I don't know.
or it's like it's
There's
a
an
class?
aspect of weapons in Destiny called Vorpal that's like tears through space and time.
Well, there's a
vortex.
sword.
Okay.
Oh, it's resulting in capable of causing death.
Okay.
A fatal accident.
Oh.
It's a nonsense word from the 1872 poem Jabberwocky.
Okay. Well, you can't get mad. Then it's just we could add that to Gink as
Yeah.
a word to call people.
Right.
It's fucking Vorpal, man.
It's a sword.
People
Basically, a
won't
Vorpal sword is something from Dungeons and Dragons.
Can't get
So you still
offended.
play Dungeons and Dragons?
He's been looking up Baldur's Gate stuff.
No,
'cause
I'm
that's-
asking you. Do you still play Dungeons and Dragons?
No. So
We were a couple years ago before
well,
COVID.
well, speaking of like the whole
'Cause I
issues
didn't-
with scheduling things and getting people together. That is the epitome of the struggle of Dungeons and Dragons, is doing sessions.
I didn't know you were into Satanism.
Yeah, I know. Jason read a chick track that really opened his eyes.
No, I read it. It was on the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when moms used to have Substacks.
Yeah.
And you subscribe and find out that you're worshiping the devil by having a crystal.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. There's so much, and what is hilarious is that the people who are falling for what is the modern version of that. Number one, they're on the other side of the political spectrum.
Yeah.
And number two, they don't realize that that's what they're doing. I've had to point that out to many parents who are so worried that their kids are going to become alt-right Nazis because they watched a PewDiePie video, that I'm like, don't you realize that you're doing the exact thing that our parents did when they thought that we were going to become devil worshippers because we played Dungeons and Dragons?
So
It's the same thing.
So I saw PewDiePie on Trash Taste a while back,
Uh-huh.
and
What's trash taste?
Trash Taste is like it's like two
They made
English
him eat shit.
two English dudes and an Australian dude. They just you're trash tasting hunt, which is like anime culture and stuff.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
yeah.
yeah. I have
they-
shit taste.
Yeah, they live in Japan, and stuff like that. So,
So that's where he is now.
Yeah,
He's
he moved to
basically-
Japan,
He's
and-
retired from being a YouTuber, and he's just living in Japan with his wife.
so I had
Okay.
to look into.
Visiting the Suicide Forest.
Yeah.
I did my research on him, right?
I've
And-
read a few articles myself.
Yeah.
They're all from the same Russian bot. So I've read a lot of articles.
I did my research into the vaccine.
Look, when I looked at Wikipedia, no, what was it? How did I put this without being horrible? It seems like his sense of humor
be
is
vorpal.
very. I know. I think his sense of humor is very European,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
don't think it translates very well to the U.S.
Well, it definitely
or
doesn't
to
translate.
or to Twitter bots.
Right,
or
it
to
definitely
Twitter-
doesn't translate very well to 38-year-old white women who listen to NPR.
Yeah,
That's who it doesn't translate. well to.
I saw what he was trying to do, and it's just like, okay, I get it, but it's just, it wasn't. There's nothing. I was like, let's go cancel the dude, It's just,
And it's always like, oh, you linked to a video on a channel where they had another video that linked to a video that was maybe a little bit alt-right. It's stuff like that.
Well, it was like we were talking about today. It was like, like Twitter was like, you'll never believe who Guy Fieri shook hands with.
I know, yeah.
It was Trump.
And it was at a UFC fight.
It was at a
and Trump
UFC
showed up.
Which,
It's
what'd you expect?
Yeah.
Who'd you expect was
I
going to be a
expect them
UFC
to fight.
yeah.
I know, right? So it's like, what am I
Create a
going?
clash.
It was like we were talking about. It was like, what am I going to do? Am I
Yeah.
going to?
Well-
I'm going to acknowledge his presence and then move on with my life.
Well, the funny thing was the Jack White things. Like, how dare you shake hands with this fascist? Blah blah blah. Like, calm down, Jack.
Didn't you
He
beat the
turned
shit
into
out of your
Greta
wife at
Thunberg
one
really
point? That's
How dare you?
I don't need
Let
Jack.
he who has no sin cast the
Yeah,
first
didn't
stone.
you fuck your sister and call her your wife and say you had a bunch of fake siblings?
Yeah, that's not Jack White. Come
Say
on,
you're
Jack
from
White.
Detroit when you're not even from
Right.
anywhere near any crossroads.
Yeah,
Right.
I know. I was like, shut
We
up,
were
Jack
talking
White.
about those ashtrays on the airplanes. Was that off air? I can't remember.
Yeah,
That was off
cars
air.
had ashtrays and
So
planes had
airplanes
ashtrays.
is the fourth place where we have no business being there because there's not air. They're
Yeah.
called airplanes because they're in the air and
You're
they're fake
defying
air
God in a
them.
metal tube.
We're
That's what
talking
you're
about
doing.
that with the submarine. Like
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
these people think
yeah.
they're brave and strong. No, you're stupid.
You went where there's no air.
Go places where there's not
Yeah,
breathing.
we were talking
air.
about that with Eric Knowles earlier in the week.
Space, ghost place, whatever
Yeah.
dimension,
Yeah.
underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't.
No
you're not
thanks.
brave and strong because you're exploring that. You're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Stop going to places where there's not air at. That's why I hate being in airplanes because I'm like something can go wrong and then there's no air immediately.
Yeah. So when Jason came over today, I was just finishing up episode 6 of The Bear season 2. So it's the one where it's the flashback to
Christmas.
to Christmas, and
Horrifying.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in it
Acting
and all
fucking
that.
machine.
Yeah,
Jamie Curtis.
it was a freaking it was a showcase put on by all these people.
Me.
It's
It was
amazing.
a really good
It's
episode.
a-
John Mulaney was great.
But so I guess
I will go on to say that I feel like episode 6 of The Bear was probably one of the best movies I've seen in the past 2 years.
yeah, the hour-long movie. Yeah.
Uh-huh,
Yeah. So I guess this I can go on my sermon now.
Yeah.
Because this season of The Bear, again, just like the first season, is really good.
Yeah.
But I think that what I'm noticing is what I've started to call writer's room dissonance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where the writers think that they're presenting the story in one way, but what is actually happening, you come away with a slightly different perspective on the characters that they weren't intending.
Well, they added a younger black girl who's smarter than everybody, just
Yeah.
like every other show. Just
Right.
like James Bond, Willy Wonka, Buzz Lightyear,
But I-
Obi-Wan.
But I
Yeah.
think that's the nuance of it. I don't think
So-
she's smarter than everyone
That's
though.
not subtle.
But the show
That's
does not
nuanced.
appear to be
It's very on the
acknowledging
nose.
that. So we've had
feel
this
like the show's-
conversation.
Yeah, I know
before.
you've had it before.
So at the end of the first season, there's an episode where everything goes wrong, and the show pretends that it is all the main character's fault.
Yeah.
The problem is what they show you in
White
the
man.
show. It is multiple characters' faults, and
oh,
there
it's
is no
there's plenty to go around.
there is no acknowledgement from either those characters or from the show itself after it all happens and it has its resolution that the people who are writing the show believe that these other characters are at all responsible for the thing. It seems like the show is blaming Carmi, the main character, for everything. And I have seen this
There's
opinion.
plenty of blame to go
Right,
around
there is.
there.
And I've seen this opinion on, I think, why does the show not acknowledge
Are we-
Sydney's issues or Marcus's issues or whatever that could
I was about to say, I was gonna go. Are we? Can we spoil it now? It's been a year now.
Yeah,
So-
it's-
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, Carmen fucked up by losing this cool and not keeping his kitchen under
Yeah,
control.
but-
Sid fucks up by not
But fucking up the order machine.
fuck the order machine.
Marcus
Richie's being Richie.
Richie's being a
Marcus
stupid
is
asshole.
not helping.
Marcus is making his donuts and not doing the thing he's supposed to do. Everybody has blame to go around, but the show only acts like it's only Carmi's fault, right?
Yeah.
So it stuck in my craw whenever I watched the first season, but I got over it because it's a really good show.
Yeah, yeah.
Second season has been really good. All the characters are good, and that's not to say I don't like these characters like Sydney and Marcus and all them. They're great characters. But again, there was a scene between his sister and Sydney where Sydney goes, "Yeah, Carmi's an asshole," and then his sister goes, "Yeah, he's an asshole," and I'm like, the show hasn't really showed us him being an asshole.
Seen him paying everyone.
We see him being completely stressed out, tearing his hair, snapping at people, but it's all
Too much
understandable.
responsibility, taking too many care of too many
Right.
people.
So
Yeah.
what I'm wondering, and I have not finished the season yet,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
mean,
wondering
we're in
if
the same
at
spot.
any point those two characters ever say, "Man, you've had it really hard.
Yeah.
We've been mean to you. Like, we were wrong about this." And I don't know if that's going to happen. And that's kind of a problem that I've been seeing in other shows. So we were talking about comic books, right? One of, again, my favorite shows of the past 2 or 3 years is Invincible. Well, in the comic book Invincible, they made some slight changes or whatever.
Sure.
In this, in the cartoon, in the show, he has a girlfriend. The girlfriend is, she's let's just say she's race swapped from the show, right? She's not a white woman as she is in the comic books.
Well, ink is expensive.
She's very, for lack of a better word, woke, fourth wave feminist, and she berates him for not paying attention to her while he's being a superhero and having to save people's lives.
Yeah.
And at first you're like, well, she doesn't know that he's a superhero, so it makes sense that she would be mad. And then you find out she knew he was a superhero the whole time.
Yeah.
And she's still complaining, and it's still all his fault, and he's still an asshole. And there's no acknowledgement from either her or the show that, wait, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being kind of an asshole about this, right?
They're trying to
so they
prove-
swapped out Adam Eve as
No, Adam Eve is
Or she's
his
still
other
close to-
girlfriend.
Oh, his other girlfriend,
His
okay.
his high school girlfriend.
Oh,
or the
okay.
college girlfriend, whatever.
Okay, cool.
I
They're
can't
trying
remember
to
her name.
prove to you
Heather
that
or something. I can't remember her
It's
name.
been a while since I've dipped into
s-
Invincible.
So Invincible has that in it, and it feels like there's some people in the writers' rooms that aren't really seeing what the thing that you should be taking away from their writing is.
That women complain too much.
Or that women complain too much, and when women complain, they're always right.
Yeah.
So
do you
there's-
feel like they're spending too much time on Twitter, though? Do you think they're Twitter? Absolutely,
all
right?
of these writers' rooms they're constantly on Twitter. The people that they're hiring to write these shows, they live on Twitter. And so another example of this is Wonder Woman 1984, right? In Wonder Woman 1984, you can tell the writers who was the Patty Jenkins
Yeah.
and the people who wrote the movie think that it's this amazing, heartbreaking, romantic thing that she gets to bring back her long lost love with a wish. But what happens is that he is in another guy's body who
Without
is not
consent,
conscious,
right?
and they're having sex, and the guy whose body it actually is not consenting. Therefore, she's literally raping a man.
Yeah, but you've shown how great of an ally you are that you remember Patty Jenkins' name. I would have been like, what's that hoe movie by What's a Bitch? I can't remember any
So
of their
that's
names.
another one. So then there's and then one of the abs, and then Disney Star Wars, the Last Jedi. You can tell that Ryan Johnson and the other writers of that show had the idea that this is some amazing, like, touching, deep thing that they're doing. When you look at what happens in that, you're like, oh, that really doesn't have the impact that you think it does. And actually, it kind of contradicts some things that even earlier in the movie that happen. And then when we get to Rise of Skywalker, whenever
I wanna talk about
Rey
Rey.
decides that she is now Rey Skywalker at the
Yeah.
end, and you're supposed to have heartwarming applause
I
feelings.
identify as a Skywalker.
Because a Palpatine has stolen the Skywalker name, they turned the whole thing into the Emperor basically being victorious and his bloodline completely supplanting the Skywalker bloodline. And you know that nobody in the writers room was like, wait a minute, what are we doing?
Well,
You
they
know?
there's a Skywalker with sharp teeth that can break shells.
Yeah. Sharp teeth, large teeth for cracking shellfish,
Well,
which
they
is
did-
one of my favorite YouTube videos.
Well, they didn't what was it? They didn't really have like an overarching theme. They kind of just
Well, yeah, there's that.
Three
But
movies
you can
together, right?
obviously tell that like it never even crossed the mind when they were planning out this show. Like, wait a second, we're writing it to where the Emperor really wins, and she, you know, yes, she's a good guy because of course she's a good guy. Rey has no flaws, so you know, she's amazing.
She's better than all the guys.
So she gets to be the new Skywalker, you know, but she's really a Palpatine. That's so freaking crazy.
Redemption.
And it kind of has to do with my complaints about just how bad writing's gotten in the past decade or so.
Well, Star Wars has always been a marketing thing. You know, they synchronized Yoda doing Grogu doing Force heal
Yeah,
to
Ray doing it without having any
and they,
training.
They didn't want to
obviously.
reveal it, so they both like were the
Yeah.
same day. Like that, the episodes came out
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Wednesday, and because it was a big reveal that there was. But then they also announced the Emperor. Somehow, the Emperor returns. His announcement that he sent out was on Fortnite for
Yeah.
Rise of the Skywalker.
That was just
What?
yeah. So you know how the stupid opening crawl for Episode 9 is the dead speak, and it's like Palpatine has somehow returned. The actual, because I guess it starts
How
off
did
with
we
there's
get?
a-
That was the thing. I was like,
There's
how
a-
did we
yeah.
get here?
the
I'm back,
broadcast.
bitches.
Like there was a giant "I'm back, bitches" broadcast to the entire galaxy, but you could only hear it and see the broadcast in Fortnite.
Yeah.
That
He's
is
like,
the
"It's
stupidest shit
Britney,
I've ever
bitch."
heard. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, and
Wow.
and you know, so every time there's a new TV show, and Josh goes, "Are you going to watch the new Star Wars?" No, they did a Fortnite thing for the new Star Wars.
Still cleaning the
movie.
sludge off of my bottom lip from watching The Bear.
That's right.
I started Civ. You guys used to play Civ?
I played Civil Revolution, and
Okay.
I dipped a little bit in the 5.
Yeah, 5 is free, I guess, on Game Pass.
Awesome.
Did you all you play it? Don? Somebody on the Discord plays it.
Yeah, I play it. The four or five of us. I played a lot of 5 and quite a bit of 6 too.
Is
yeah.
that something you can do together?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have a computer. You did it on your laptop or on your PC.
Yeah, I have the
I don't-
same games on the Game Pass Ultimate for everything.
Yeah, you
Are
can,
you-
you can do PC and Xbox.
Can we? Yeah, we can do PC and Xbox. We can do it on the Xbox
Yeah.
Series X. So we can play a game of Civilization.
I need to get better. I've had my world destroyed 3 times so far before the 250th
Oh.
turn.
Come on, Gandhi.
Nuke 'em.
Get your shit together.
It seems like it's a lot of apologizing for not having enough art.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you kill the missionaries?
You
People
have
keep trying
to-
to bring religion into my town.
You have to
and I'm
get
like,
your own
"Can I-"
missionaries. And I don't know if you can kill them, but I like to play without religion because I don't like the religion mechanic. I never have.
Yeah.
But
Do they not bring anything to the table other than?
no, there's
you know-
a there's
And
there's
you
a,
want to win by enlightenment, right?
well, yeah, the religion is a whole separate. Like there's like 5 or 6 different ways to win the game, and one of them is a religious victory, to where your religion becomes the only religion in the whole world.
Oh
they
wow.
make it really easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like it. I started it and I like it. And
No,
we've
I
got-
love Civ. It's addictive. It's just really hard to complete a game.
Yeah.
And then again, Civilization is also one of those. It's like learning chess strategies. So you could read all day long about okay, you build this, and then you do this, and then you get this guy, and you build this thing, and then you use that to do this. It's like when you open a chess match, like you do this move, and then you do this move. That's one strategy.
Everything I'm
or you
doing
do
is
this move
just to
and
get
that
the
move.
boosts
Can
for
I?
the future.
Can
Yeah,
I?
right.
Can I pose a question about this?
Yeah.
Can you throw a fireball in the game?
In Civ,
Lightning bolt. Lightning
Yeah,
bolt,
sure.
Lightning bolt.
there's no.
There's catapults.
Can I do a
There's
hurricane kick?
trebuchets.
Then what
Can
the
I
fuck are we
Hadouken?
doing?
When I
Sure you can.
can I get an Indian guy whose arms and legs stretch all the way across the
Gandhi.
screen?
And he says,
That's how he wins
"Yoga
by
fire."
enlightenment.
Yeah.
He stretches his feelings.
Right.
out to everybody.
Just use Gandhi as you know
Right.
my base. Yeah, there you
Right.
go.
What happened with Biden? He touched the king's penis. Why can't you do that? Oh, I was just trying to touch his penis.
Because I'm an ally.
Why can't we? That's how we used to do in Scranton. Just touch his penis as if he was a king.
We were talking about that today. It was let's bring back making fun of political people on both sides.
Yeah.
Bring
yeah.
it back, like
Yeah.
What
Biden tripping over a cable, then pointing at it, like, "Ugh," shaking his fist at it.
Curse
you
you.
Yeah, I was saying that to
Shit is funny.
Eric earlier. I said it sucks that anytime I want to find a funny clip of Biden trying to say a sentence and failing, it has to be off a hashtag Trump 2024 Twitter account. Those are the only people who are posting that.
So we are going to have Paper Tiger coming, the band from Boston, onto the show here pretty soon. Or not the full band, just two of the guys from the band that did the theme song, Bjarke and Michael. From
Alright.
They have a side project called Oxblood. So we now have a intro and outro theme.
By a real actual
show.
band
We
that
have a
plays
logo.
real actual shows. It's really awesome.
Fancy.
We have a logo, we have a song, we have names, we have a friar. We're legit. Things keep happening with the show where it's like we did it for 6 months and nothing happened.
Uh-huh.
And then it feels a little bit like it's coincided with my online onslaught of clips, but things keep
Content sludge pipe.
happening. Yeah,
It's content sludge.
Yeah,
pipe.
we're
That's right.
sludging back,
Yeah.
pushing back upstream against the sludge.
Yeah. So, Jason, thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you for having
Do you
me.
have anything you would like to plug? I mean, I know that you're at Item 11 on social media, right?
I am Item 11 on social media. If you want to find me retweeting stupid shit, you
Yeah.
can go there.
Yeah.
You can find me on Threads is it Threads with a Z or just an S?
I think Threads with 2 Z's is an actual.
Threads is a,
Yeah.
yeah, that's mostly just Instagram stuff.
You're
I
gonna find yourself on there because I'm gonna put these clips on there.
Yeah.
I should, yeah. Although I kind of have it private. I don't have a public facing thing yet. I need to work on that.
Yeah. You need to work on your branding.
I need to work on my
Bro,
branding
you need a
and my
logo.
podcast.
Make an
Yeah.
Item 11 logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to do something, but I don't know what I want to do. I also feel like I don't want to get doxxed or anything.
Right. You want to keep yourself safely
I'd like
anonymous.
to keep me safely anonymous.
Just look for Item 11 if you're interested in Jason.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to make that public now, won't I? Because it's private. Because I don't want to get fired for anything.
Right. I know. Jason doesn't have a job, so you can't fire him. So don't even try.
That's right.
All right. Talk to you next week. Goodbye. Bye.
God awful. God awful. God awful.
I have 4 more things. Do we have time for 4 more things?
Yeah, we
Make-
have time for
make
4
an-
more things.
make
We can
an
extend
extended
it.
4 more
show.
items for
Yeah.
the item guys for
Yeah.
item 4 and item 11.
Let's do it.
What does Kajimusha mean?
Kajimusha?
Yeah,
I thought that was a Kurosawa movie. I don't know what that means.
I thought it meant cage match because it sounds like it.
Kage
It's not
means
Latin, so it never means what it sounds like.
Kage means shadow, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know what Musha means. I know it's a video game.
I saw a
Yeah.
homeless guy with a super long beard, and I was like, I wonder if that's how long he's been homeless, for how long his beard is.
It's like a tree.
Like, you could hire the guys
That's
from
the amount
ZZ
of
Top,
rings,
and
yeah.
they could be the expert in the car and be like, oh, that dude's been homeless for
Cut-
4 years.
Yeah.
I know
Cut
how
the
long
beard
it
and
takes.
count the rings.
I was watching Raiders of the Lost Ark the other night
Uh-huh.
to
I
go to
love Raiders
bed
of the Lost Ark.
as a comfort movie so I could fall asleep, but then, of course, I just stayed awake and watched it because it's fucking awesome. That movie has a Nazi monkey. The monkey goes Sig Heil,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it's working for the Nazis.
And it
that-
melts too.
and then he gets killed. The monkey
No, it
gets
eats
poisoned
the
to death.
dates.
Yeah.
Bad dates.
These are 2 things that I thought would trigger young girls and not end up on Disney Plus: Nazi monkeys and animal death.
Yeah.
Shadow Warrior. That's Kagemusha.
Oh, okay.
Musha. Musha is Warrior.
We were watching 65 today, the Adam Driver movie.
Any
with-
good?
It's a idea that I always wanted to do, where
Mm-hmm.
somebody comes to Earth and then they made a huge mistake because Earth is extremely dangerous and they
Mhm.
don't even know what Earth is.
Yeah.
So if Adam Driver is an alien man, he's from another place, and they come to Earth 65 million years ago. But we were watching it with subtitles, and it kept. He's got a little kid with him, of course, because
Yeah.
everything's lone wolf and cub now. And so something dangerous would happen, and then it would calm down, and they'd look at each other, and you go, "Oh, they learned a lesson together. Or they're learning to communicate or whatever," because she's from a different language.
Like, oh.
And the subtitles would say, "Music turns pensive." Why do deaf people need to know that the music turned pensive?
So that they can imagine something they've never heard.
They didn't have any music. There was never any music to begin
Yeah.
with. So it's like you're rubbing their faces in it.
It's
What
like
music you would have heard right now
Yeah, right.
would have turned pensive if
Yeah.
you could hear the music.
That's
Maybe
right.
put dramatic music. Or
Yeah.
thought
Or just,
provoking
hey, there's
stuff.
music playing during this scene. What's music? I don't know. Ask your priest.
Ask your priest.
And then we watched the Wham documentary. Which,
There's a Wham documentary.
fuck yeah, it's on Netflix.
apparently it's
Did you see? I was like,
highly regarded.
So remember when they said they had a gay gun for the Taliban? They're going to shoot it at them and make them gay.
who said that?
It was like they were coming
like
up
a
with all
Bush
these
era thing,
sonic
yeah.
weapons. Like they had a sonic gun
Jesus
that could make you get a
Christ.
stomach ache.
Of course it was.
And then they had a gay bomb.
Uh-huh.
They should just use George Michael's face from Careless Whisper. That made me gay immediately.
The most beautiful
And they
male's face.
upscaled it
yeah.
on Netflix, and he's just looking in the camera, and I'm like, oh, I'm gay now.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's amazing. He's the best hair. And he's singing about like the longing that you have when you can't be with a man.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
you wish that you
I remember growing up in like, high school, and of course, it was the George Michael jokes were the kind of that was the end thing, I guess, right? You know,
The banging in the bushes.
banging in the bushes, banging
Whamming in the
in the
bushes.
whamming in the bushes. He's honestly, he passed away now, but dude was super talented. Dude could write a pop song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, George Michael was amazing.
He's amazing. Yeah.
The movie's really good.
What is it? Freedom 90 is a great song, and then
Hell yeah. That's my jam. That's as soon as my parents would leave, my sister and I would put that on and turn it up.
can I
Freedom in
can
the
I
house.
tell my Elton John and George Michael Don't Let the Sun Go? Okay, so George Michael and Elton John did a song for, I think it was the Freddie Mercury
Yeah,
concert.
they
at
used
Wembley.
it for the Vidar town sign for
It
black
was-
people.
yeah.
Don't go in the let the sun go in.
So Jesus Christ, I just caught that. God damn it all. So yeah, they did a cover of "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me," and so George is just crooning, and it's beautiful. Then at one part you hear, "Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elton John,"
Yeah.
and then "I can't lie." And so it's like, so now like I always like do like anytime it comes on, I do it to Sarah, but sometimes I'll just switch it up. So it's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. John." I can't lie.
I was in the wrong place.
a little here from my hair.
See, I didn't know he did the Family Channel song back in the day. So
Oh,
now I
yeah?
just so now I just want to go around going, "Joanna, accentuate the positive." So
Have you ever used that argument ender on your wife? I already apologized. How many times do you want me to say sorry? I already said sorry. When they try to rub your face in something you did wrong, you're like, I already said sorry.
try not to.
Yeah,
You
it
know.
doesn't really work. But now, so Bill Cosby's been accused of 2 more, I think, rapes or 6 more rapes after getting out of jail.
Jesus.
So you can imagine
Christ.
the conversation with Camille. She's like, "Honey, again?" And he's like, "No, it wasn't again. It was a long time. How many? I've already apologized, Camille. Do I got it?" And she's like, "Yes, you have to apologize as many rapes as there were. That's how many times you have to say sorry."
Are there
to
any
your
ones I
wife."
don't know about now?
Okay, so
What's next week?
so 2 things. I'm very impressed that you knew his wife's name's still Camille.
Camille.
And 2, why is it when
She needs to be honored for her suffering.
Why is it the funniest thing ever when white people do Cosby impressions?
What the jello pudding?
Because I'll always forget, I'll never forget Tina Fey and Amy Poehler doing, "I put the pills in the people," and it's just like, oh
In
my
the
God.
ported pop.
And it's like, I'm going to hell for this one. Like,
There's got to be
it's-
a halfway point between the Indian guy and Bill Cosby. The jello pudding pups.
no.
Just throw a little bit of stank on it.
Contact super gold filber.